I appreciate the Loudoun County Library System offering this space for us to gather. And I appreciate everyone as I gaze upon your names here, seeing those who've joined from wherever you might be, right? Your little places in the world to come here to gather in what can be called a sangha. And so sangha is a Sanskrit word the essence of that word can be community, right? A gathering. And so as we gather here for our practice, and it is a midday meditation, but if you've sat with me before, you know that I like to begin with just some practices that help us arrive, right? And some practices that are very simple to use for ourselves throughout the day, right? And that's our breath, a little bit of movement to relax the neck and the shoulders. And that just gives us some space to settle in for our meditation. I just wanted to share with you, um, there's a book by Thich Nhat Hanh. It's called How to Sit. And when we move to our meditation, I'm going to be sharing some words from his book, How to Sit. It's a book that I got, actually, this is full circle. Huh. I got this book from a friend of mine when I led my very first meditation at the Sterling, at the Cascades Library. Cascades? Yeah, the Cascades Library. Well, it feels like many years ago. And so here we are. Welcome, welcome. And so as you gather here and find yourself in a seat, just reflecting on that moment, it just feels like, again, this full circle. We gather here, right? Just like we gathered at another place, another time, wherever we may have been. And as you sit for meditation or sit for your practice, you can be on the floor, but you don't have to. And if you choose to sit on the floor, know that I have like a block with a blanket on top of it. So I have a little lift to my hips, right? You could also choose to sit on the couch. But if you do, I'd say maybe scoot forward a bit so you have a nice tall spine. Even more beneficial could be a straight back chair. So you have, again, this nice tall spine, your soles of feet grounded on the earth, your ankles drop down onto your knees. And so we have this just a nice stable joints and smooth path for our breath and our energy to move. All right. All right. So we'll breathe, we'll invite some movement in, and then we'll explore a meditation. I'll offer some words and some guidance and then some silence so we can practice this idea of coming back to ourselves, right? So, all of that being said, let's begin right here and now. The gaze can be soft in the distance or invite your gaze inward. Please know at any time either of these is beneficial. Do what feels best for you. And check in here to find the head above the heart above the hips, spine stacked, shoulders soft, elbows heavy. In this mindful seat, this intentional seat, as you arrive here for your practice, breathe in and breathe out. Take a few rounds of your breath to tune into the characteristics of your breath. Notice where your body expands on your inhale. Where do you notice a softening, the ease of your exhale? as you continue to breathe, feeling the ebb and flow of your breath. Tune in to see if there's a little whisper of your breath in your ear. You might notice along the edges of your nostrils how the breath is a bit cooler on your inhale. Warmer on your exhale. As you continue to breathe, visualize your breath creating space, an energetic buffer between where you were and where you are right now. Invite space between where you are right now and where you might eventually be. Using your breath to create this space. Every round of breath is an invitation here and now. Every breath an opportunity to be present. We can also use our breath as an opportunity to invite some gentle movement to help relax the shoulders and the neck and find ease. As you find your next inhale, roll your shoulders up around your ears. With your exhale, inviting shoulders back and down. Inhaling, shoulders up around your ears. And exhale, shoulders back and down. And take a few more rounds of your shoulder rolls. Simply following your breath. Our breath bringing our mind and our body together. And when we place our mind on this simple movement, it itself is a meditation. Find one more round of your shoulder rolls up and back and down. Here with the shoulders nice and heavy. Little love for the neck. Use an inhale to lift your face up towards the ceiling. Just lifting the head up, looking up a bit to your degree. And then with your exhale, drifting your chin down towards your chest. Just finding your unique range of motion. The inhale to lift up, open up the front of the throat a bit. Exhale, chin to chest. Take one more round here as we open the front of the throat, little length. The exhale, chin drifts down towards the chest. Shoulders are heavy. As the shoulders stay back, we find a little lengthening in the back of your neck. You might feel this lengthening along the tops of your shoulders. And breathe into the sensation here. And as you breathe here, can you notice the chest coming up towards your chin? As you find your next inhale, begin to roll your right ear over to listen to your right shoulder. And exhale to drift your chin down through center. Inhale, left ear travels over to left shoulder. Exhale, chin down through center. Take this 2 more times, just drifting from side to side, taking this as easily as you'd like. If you're going to linger on one side, please do. Just tuning into the sensation. You might find things begin to shift or loosen just a little bit. And eventually, as you find your left side, finishing that pair, we'll bring the chin back down towards the chest, the head be heavy. And with your inhale, lift the chin up, inhale the shoulders up and back and down. Take a moment or two here to notice the space between your earlobes and your shoulder heads. Make a mental note that our breath and movement connected. One, a meditation, right, inviting us to be present. And two, can help release tension and stress, find ease for the shoulders and the neck. Mm-hmm. And here with this more easeful seat, perhaps maybe a bit more grounded as we used our breath to arrive. Once again, if you were a visual learner, you can soften the gaze or invite the gaze inward if you had your eyes open. And I will offer you a few words by Thich Nhat Hanh, who you may know was a wonderful human and an inspirational meditation teacher. And I share these words to carry his teachings forward, although he is on another plane. All right. He speaks on body, mind, and breath. In our daily lives, our attention is dispersed. Our body is in one place. Our breath is ignored, and our mind is wandering. I'll offer that this is an observation, right? It's just something he saw, something I find to be true in myself. He goes on to say, as soon as we pay attention to our breath, as we breathe in, these three things, body, breath, and mind, come together. This can happen in just 1 or 2 seconds. You come back to yourself. Your awareness brings these 3 elements together, and you become fully present in the here and the now. You are taking care of your body. You are taking care of your breath. You are taking care of your mind. We've tuned into our breath. We've invited the breath to guide the body. And now I invite you to find your seat. And perhaps use these words as an inspiration for your sit. That soft or inward gaze. The breath is always here to support us. the expansive inhale, and the easeful exhale. Your awareness on your breath invites you to the present moment. Perhaps using words to connect to your practice. You could say to yourself, I breathe in, I breathe out, I come back to myself. I breathe in, I breathe out, I come back to myself. I invite you to linger here with me, holding space in this mindful seat, space for your breath to flow. And as your breath flows, the breath holding space for your awareness riding the ebb and flow of your breath. Every round of breath, an invitation to come back to yourself. as you continue to breathe, noticing where the mind may or may not be. No judgment. With compassion, bring your attention back to your breath. And in that moment, come back to yourself. Come back to your practice. Expansive inhale. And an easeful exhale. Allowing the edges to soften. These words, tools you can tuck into your pocket. I breathe in and I breathe out. I come back to myself. A breath or two here to notice whatever there is to notice. And in your own time, gently blinking your eyes open. Inviting any movement that might feel good after relative stillness. I appreciate you. Thank you for making time for yourself, for joining me here to pause, to breathe, and to be. Until our paths cross again, my friend, be well, and thank you.